my actual eyesight. Is there the high drive? Deep center. Go, go, go. We're out of here. We're out of here. Say ya, playa.
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A dog pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Kingsway Regional High School here in Swedesboro, as we've got possibly our biggest matchup of the year so far here in this young 2024 campaign between the Camden Panthers and the Kingsway Dragons. I've been waiting to cover a team like Camden for a long, long time, and our first year of football, I've told people this week, is kind of like our pilot program. The second year, which is what we're in right now, is turning on the Jets. We had an excellent first weekend with Kip and Gateway getting their second franchise win. You also had a great thriller in the rushing games in South Jersey Group 1 between Collingswood and Clayton, 30-26, and then a thrilling Pennsgrove-Paulsboro game as well. Last night we saw Lower Cape May fall to Gloucester 21-7. Mason Widman rushed for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns in Gloucester's win. They are still undefeated at home dating back to September of 2022. But we'll talk about Camden and Kingsway right now. Both of these teams coming off of a Week 0 win. Kingsway over a crosstown rival in Eastern, and then Camden over an unlikely foe, St. Christopher's in Richmond, Virginia. They took that game home easily, 39-17. And, Mekhi Brunson really is showing that he has what it takes to be a 5-tool quarterback. And the excellent thing about him, 11 for 22. I mean, for a high school quarterback, 50% passing, not a lot of coaches are grateful enough to have a quarterback that can pass not only 11 for 22, but 4 passing TDs in the 39-17 win and 239 passing yards. Now, in the rushing game, it's a little more similar. They spread the money very well across the Camden running backs. You had Mekhi Brunson again as the quarterback rushing for 72 in 8 attempts. So Camden's not going to be afraid to go out of the scramble and get their quarterback some extra rushing yards. But Kingsway, across 7 rushers in Week 0 versus Eastern, 126 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns in their 32-13 win over the Vikings. The big thing, junior quarterback David Oravets, 10 for 13, 98 passing yards. So both of these teams should flirt with the pass a lot today. However, we'll see how it works. Is Camden just going to go for home run balls? And is Kingsway going to go for those screens and the slants, the closer 5 or 10 yard plays that'll get you more efficiency? Because guess what? Oravets completed 10 of his 13 passes. And Brunson last week, 11 for 22. Both of them got similar results, and both of them won their respective ball games. But those were both against teams that had endured success before, but going into this season weren't looked at as highly. Eastern, as we said, they went 2-8 last year, and they started off the season with a loss to Kingsway, and then of course Camden going way out of their way to St. Christopher in Richmond, Virginia. And that'll be a fun game to look back on. But we're going to look at tonight. Kingsway and Camden both 1-0 in their respective seasons going into tonight as we kick off what is going to be a great weekend here on DWB. For the rest of this weekend, we go back to Woodbury on Saturday between the Haddonfield Bulldogs and the Woodbury Thundering Herd for a 10:30 a.m. start. Then we travel down to Sewell for a 2:30 p.m. start time between the Fashion Institute of Technology Tigers and the RCSJ Gloucester Roadrunners in JUCO women's soccer. We'll have everything that you need, including a national anthem and our kickoff tonight here from Kingsway in Swedesboro, as it's going to be a fun one here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We'll be right back after this.
as our honor guard is entering the student. And now we ask that you please turn your attention to midfield as the Kingsway JROTC color guard team presents the colors for this evening. Commanding the Joint Service Color Guard is the Kingsway NJROTC Commanding Officer, Cadet Lieutenant Luke Zimmerlin. Carrying the national flag is Cadet First Class Petty Officer Alexis Zabriskie. Carrying the New Jersey State flag is Cadet First Class Petty Officer Peyton Burdian. Carrying the Prisoners of War and Missing in Action flag is Cadet Second Class Petty Officer Isaac Pompa. Carrying the United States Marine Corps flag is Cadet Third Class Petty Officer Chio Lombardo. Carrying the United States Navy flag is Cadet First Class Petty Officer Shirley Abreu. Carrying the United States Air Force flag is Cadet Third Class Petty Officer Maria Fleming. Carrying the United States Space Force flag is Cadet Third Class Petty Officer Christian Gutierrez. Carrying the United States Coast Guard flag is Cadet First Class Petty Officer Emily Ortiz. Carrying the Kingsway NJROTC flag is Cadet First Class Petty Officer Joe Stahl. Carrying the right rifle is Cadet Recruit Raymond Porter. And carrying the left rifle is Cadet Lieutenant Junior Grade Evan Neal. At this time, we ask that everyone please remove your hats as we honor America for the playing of our national anthem by Kingsway award-winning marching band under the direction of Mr. Mike Becerra. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kingsway marching band.
All right, well, a wonderful anthem performance there as we are getting set for the Camden Panthers and the Kingsway Dragons. Like we said, both these teams coming off of Week 0 victories. Camden over St. Christopher's in Richmond, Virginia, a game that they traveled all the way down to Richmond to play. They've had a tradition of using their Week 0 game for an out-of-state opponent. And Kingsway, of course, with another Group 4 school in tow, they play Eastern and took care of them in Week 0. And for both of these teams, a daunting schedule is ahead. And with both of these teams coming off of Week 0 victories, it's going to be interesting to see how like we said, Camden beat St. Christopher 39-17 in their Week 0 matchup. Kingsway as well taking care of Eastern by a handful of possessions. You know, we've got a good matchup tonight, and I think that, you know, the Camden heavy passing game, along with Kingsway having a healthy mix of rushing and passing, is going to be fun to watch. And I think we could have a high-scoring shootout tonight. And, you know, what could be important going forward, you know, look, they beat Eastern 23-6. We saw that Orovets completed 10 of his 13 passes. And for Kingsway, they've got a daunting schedule ahead. Timber Creek and Delsey on the 13th and 20th. Camden Eastside on September 28th, and then they close out the season 3 straight home games: Hamilton, Clearview, and Washington Township. Clearview being that huge rivalry game on October 11th, and then they close out the season on October 25th with a classic Friday Night Lights matchup against Williamstown. With their divisions adjusted WJFL, of course, readjusts their divisions after every 2 seasons. Williamstown was at the top of the food chain last year, went 0-9. Now bringing back an old friend and an old head coach. And they're already off to a good start. Took care of, I believe it was Seneca in week 0. So captains are out at the 50, getting ready to get this one underway. Doesn't feel like 77 degrees here in Swedesboro, but that's what we got. Partly cloudy and 77. A little bit warm here in the press box, but got a good one tonight. Considering Kingsway is wearing their blacktop uniforms for this home match, they're going to be feeling it as well. The turf obviously has an effect as well. You know, we saw something last year that said that whenever you're playing on a turf, it'll end up being about 5 to 10 degrees hotter on the turf just because it's not natural grass, but a beautiful field here at a Kingsway Regional and Anthony Barchuk field. Really just an excellent facility here. Again, folks, we're just dealing with a little bit of internet issues here in Kingsway, so if we have any hiccups or interruptions during the broadcast, please stay with us. And please be patient, as there will be a lot of patience tonight between these two teams, as Camden High will get ready to take this one and get their first drive here in the state of New Jersey underway with their excellent award-winning mighty marching Panthers.
Number 77, Brady Wilkins, senior left guard. Number 66, Violent Angel. Junior at left tackle.
There's not many bands as prestigious and full of tri-state prowess as the Camden Panthers, mighty marching Panthers. And again, big thanks to Kingsway's athletic director, June Chaffee, for having us in the building tonight. And Mark Hendricks and the Kingsway Dragons getting ready to have their home opener after taking care of Eastern last week by a score of 23-6.
And a kicker, junior 41, Zach Logan. No, that's just short touch and shot.
So Kingsway will send this one away here on a 78-degree day from Woolwich Township and Swedesboro. Camden back to receive. Kingsway in the black jerseys with red helmets. Camden on the right side of your screen, white jerseys, purple and gold accents. Look at this formation. That's fun. We've got a line drive kick to start off week 1, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 5. That'll be a kicking out of bounds penalty, and we are underway from Kingsway. So kicking out of bounds penalty is how we kick off tonight's matchup. We're going to have a re-kick here. Usually what happens is the team would take over from their opposing, from their own 35, but Camden will elect to re-kick this opening kickoff. An interesting move nonetheless, because we've seen a handful of our kicking out of bounds this season already, especially from the Group 1 programs, but we haven't seen one where they actually elected to re-kick. Kingsway's kicker ready to send this one away, number 41, Zach Burlingame, the 6'3", 165 junior. So attempt number 2 at kicking this game away. Here from Swedesboro. This one, it looks a little better, but it is touched by Camden. And they are going to get poor field position to start this one off. Taken in by Malik Red. I don't know if I get that one either. I think that he could have, that ball had enough carry to the left where he could have just let that one go and it would have gone out of bounds. So they are going to start this opening drive at their own 14-yard line. Yeah, I just don't know if I get that move. I think definitely you want to assert dominance in these early drives, and even if they just took the kicking out of bounds penalty from Kingsway. Here's a handoff from Brunson up the middle. Tackled by number 14, that being Andrew Wands. So Azir Lee on the carry there for the Panthers. That'll set up 2nd and 4 here after a gain of 6. Certainly didn't feel like a gain of 6, but now these guys are rocking and rolling, looking for their first set of new downs here early in the first. Here comes a pass to the right side. It is caught by Lee. It's going to be short of a first down. They're going to get past the 20, around the 22-yard line. Still deep in their own territory.
That's the play to number 3, Christian Brasson. Made by number 4, Sonny Vitro. To bring a 3rd and out 1.
So that'll be 3rd and short here for the Panthers. Keeping it up tempo. Dehaney Cobbs hands that one off, not Malik Brunson. And a handful of Dragons on the tackle there, as that will be enough to push the ball across for a Panthers first down.
Tackle goes by number 23, Mason Brown. And 55 for Nino. That's a very first down.
Just about a minute into this one from Swedesboro as Camden gets across on a couple of rushes and a pass. And now a screen pass to the right side. Kingsway got a hand on it. And yeah, it's going to be a pass for a loss. Tried to screen it to the right from the pass from Makai Brunson, excuse me. Let's bring up 2nd and 15 here for the Panthers. Still running in the shotgun here for Makai Brunson. Drops back. He's got room. Floats this one over the middle. It's tipped and knocked away. Intended for Malik Red again and almost intercepted by Luca Lentini. But now they're going to be set up with 3rd and long here. And, you know, I think that's one of those situations where he was setting up like he was going to go for a home run ball and then found a guy around 10, 15 yards downfield. Would have been plenty good for a first down, but Brunson completing 2 of his 3 passes so far tonight very early in this one. Camden still young on its first drive, and we've got laundry on the field at the line of scrimmage. Going to be false start on the Panthers. And they'll move this one back 5 yards to make it 3rd and very long for Camden. Kingsway getting loud. And Camden on 3rd and long, probably going to need a deep pass here, or at least a miracle of a run to make this work. But with the passing offense, he finds a gap in the offensive line. Now finally lets the ball go, and it's caught. How about that? They just converted on a 3rd and 20. Camden converts on a miraculous pass to Dehaney Cobbs. And that'll bring up first down as Camden completely turns the tables. And now, after being deep in their own territory, finds a man downfield. And now it will be 1st and 10 from the 34. What a completion there. Working under pressure. It was basically hit as he threw, too. I mean, that's what makes a star quarterback in Makai Brunson. Steele on the carry there by Camden.
played by number 8, Kenny Deer.
2nd and 8 now. Again, Camden running in the shotgun. Going to screen this to the left. It's caught. And got a handful of guys on that one on the reception to the left side. Caught by Seshawn Collins. Camden had 4 rushers in last week's 39-17 win over St. Christopher. Christian Braxton went 9 attempts on 23 yards. Makai Brunson, 8 attempts, 72 yards, and he is the quarterback. And then Jaden Steele, 4 rushes, 16 yards for a total of 23 rushes and 113 yards. Dropping back, Brunson with very quick feet, lets it fly. And it'll be incomplete. So good coverage there in the end zone to defend it. That'll bring up 4th down and 4. And we'll see. Brunson's still out there, so it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. And, hey, they converted on a 3rd and 20. I wouldn't be shocked if they can make some more 11th hour magic happen here. About 4 minutes burned in the first quarter. Drops back. And they've been really heavy with the passing. That one is tipped away, but there is a flag on the play. We saw a flag back behind the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the Whitecap has to say. It's going to be holding in the offense, so they didn't complete the pass anyway. That'll be a turnover on downs. Penalties declined. And we will have a turnover. Well, that was a big part of the. That was a big comeback by Kingsway there. You know, obviously your spirits can be kind of shot very early in the game when you don't stop on a 3rd and 20 and they're able to drive the ball 30, 40 yards down the field. Being able to make the stop there, and in addition to having the holding penalty, that also helps. And taking advantage of some great secondary defense there by Kingsway. And they'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 29 as Dragons with Mark Hendricks at the helm, starting their first drive of the 2024 campaign on this, or not of the campaign, but of tonight. Here from Kingsway Regional, here comes the handoff towards the short sideline. And the carry was made by number 15, that being Aiden Licciardello. We got about 5 yards about that, and it'll be 2nd and 5. Second and 5. There goes the handoff to the far sideline. And there, finally, whistles are blown. Carry was made by Mason Bryan, a very junior-heavy team. I mean, you've got a handful of seniors, but most of the key position players on this team, including the quarterback Orovets, are juniors on this club. Orovets going back out there, and they'll meet him at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 from their own 29. Orovets drops back to pass. He was 10 for 13 last night. And they were looking for a DPI there, but they don't get it, and it'll be 4th down on the pass attempted for J.D. Johnson. Looks like they're going to bring out the special teams unit here on 4th down. And the kicker and punter again going back out for this one, Zach Burlingame. after they go 3 and out. So both teams unsuccessful on their first drives of the night. And for Kingsway, they fall short on that one. This one is punted over the middle. It's caught at the 35. And he gets ripped down at the 39.
Punt made by number 41, back to the game. Second by number 5, Alani. Almost made by number 4, Tom Ego. First and 10. Their own 39-yard line.
So Camden will take over for their second drive of this afternoon. By the way, we are having some minor internet hiccups here in Kingsway, so any interruptions in the broadcast, we apologize. He's going to break free, but he does get pushed out on the reception, complete to Dahani Cobbs.
First down.
Pass completed again to Cobbs. And another handoff over the middle.
Number 3, Christian Braxton takes down by number 14, Andrew Long. But second down for the Panthers.
It'll be second down and about 6 for Camden. Little breeze coming into the booth here. As he got a handoff over the middle again. Not to Cobb, but instead to Azir Lee, the 6'1 senior. Or excuse me, no, that is Christian Braxton. Azir Lee is number 2 on this Camden team. It'll set up third and short as Camden looks to not only break across the first down marker, but get one step closer to the red zone, something they have not had a chance to partake in tonight. And it looks like they will get the first down from Braxton, who had the most rushes of all Camden players last week. 9 rushes, 23 yards. He might be their third down specialist, kind of like Darren Sproles was back when he was with the Eagles. You know, where you just get him in to get a couple of yards. You don't need to break away for 20 or 30, but it is enough for a Camden first down. And we will have a timeout called by the Dragons defense. Camden charging towards the red zone. They will set up shop after this break. First and 10 from the 24 as they look to get on the board for the first time tonight. We have 5 minutes left in quarter number 1. We'll be right back. Camden and Kingsway still tied up 0-0. 5 minutes exactly left in quarter number 1 after the Dragons call a timeout. First and 10 as Camden gets a new set of downs. Braxton on the carry, stripped to the ground below the waist. And Christian Braxton on the carry there. Like we said, he had the most total carries versus Christopher last week. But no luck on the most yards, as like we said. You know, he seems to kind of be the short game specialist. You know, maybe like a third down guy. He got the first down on that last set for the Panthers. And now Brunson dropping back to pass, goes over the middle. And it is caught for a Panthers touchdown. We do have a flag. Sorry, I didn't have a good view of the field. My view is partially blocked up here in the booth, so I'm trying to manage that the best that I can. We do have a flag, though, on the field, and the ref's grabbing the ball like this is coming back. Let's see what the flag is called. Holding on the offense, so that will be coming back. All right, so holding will get them back to the 2nd and 20. Dropping back again. Number 6, Nicholas Worley, in the tackle there. I mean, Brunson does love to scramble, and he's got not just good speed as a quarterback, but no luck there as Camden will set up shop 3rd and long. And there's the first down marker on the far end, still sitting at about 3rd and 16 after that rush by Brunson. As we said, he went for 8 scrambles last week versus St. Christopher. Now he's got room, goes straight through the teeth of the defense and gets scrambled and gets chopped up. Nicholas Worley on the carry there. Worley on the tackle. That'll bring up 4th down. We'll see if they keep the offense on the field. I mean, Camden is a Group 2 school by definition, but they are large enough of a football team to where they could employ a kicker if they needed to. They will stay on the field. 4th down and long. Brunson believing in that pass magic. He's got room over the middle, and he converts it to Malik Red, but the ball comes out. The ball came out. I think Kingsway got the ball back. The ball came out after it was caught by Red, picked up by Luca Lentini. Let's see what the call is here. Definitely looked like it. I mean, it was obviously fumbled. And Kingsway not happy with that call at all.
Pass completed by number 0, Malik Red.
So they will say it is not a fumble. That's certainly a contentious play. But now Camden is in the red zone. With a chance to get on the board after their first TD was called back for holding. Here comes a rush up the middle. He dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Camden. For Camden, that is Jaden Steele, who gets into the end zone for a 10-yard rush. Man. Did you John go? They'll go for no, they will go for the PAT. So he's sent away by Dahani Cobbs. Actually, no, sorry. Kick up the middle and good by number 54.
The extra point attempt is by freshman number 54.
Jerome Foster. Oh, sorry, not Anthony Nelson. There's two number 54s listed on the roster, Jerome Foster and Anthony Nelson. But how about that? Camden gets on the board first after a contentious no fumble call. Gets them on the board. We'll stay on the air. 7-0 Panthers. So Camden will send this one away after getting on the board. I mean, hey, week 0, Eastern got the first score versus Kingsway. Kingsway came back, took the lead, and never gave it up in their 23-6 win.
He should be able to plug it together. So, nice to do.
So Camden will send this one away. After the PAT by Nelson. And the 10-yard rushing touchdown by number 4, Jaden Steele.
Number 19, James Dell. From behind. Wide 10.
All right, Camden ready to go. High flying kick sends them back to the 15. Decent return there and gets swallowed up. Kickoff by number 9, Luca Lentini. Not the greatest field position Kingsway could start with, but certainly not the worst. But a packed house here in Kingsway tonight, and a whole bunch of local merchandise as well, including the Eagles, who kick off their season tonight versus the Packers in Brazil. I believe that's an 8 p.m. start time. I don't know if Brazil is an hour ahead or not, but it's going to be fun. Oravet's back under center and in the in the shotgun for Kingsway here. They had to wait for a extra back to get in there, number 4. But Kingsway starts their drive from their own 27. Oravet's handoff, fakes it to the left side for Lentini. And he gets sent out of bounds at the 30. That'll be enough for a couple of yards, but nothing more. And it's 2nd and 6. If you're just tuning in, Camden scored after a contentious call about a fumble that was not ruled a fumble, we should say. Jaden Steele followed that up with a 10-yard rushing touchdown. The PAT was good by the freshman kicker, Nelson. And Camden leads 7-0 here in the tail end of the first quarter. Kingsway sends a man in motion. Dropping back, Oravet's goes over to Lentini again. Oh, what a crossover! Finds himself in midfield at the 41 for a first down for the Dragons. I mean, that is a great play right there.
From the Dragons.
So first down after the catch by Lentini, and how about that crossover move to get them over? So Kingsway, new set of downs from their own 41. I'm sure there's a Dave Matthews reference in there somewhere. Man in motion. Dropping back, Oravet's. And that's going to be a sack for the Panthers, as a litany of Panthers on that one, but the sack will be made by number 52, Jerome Foster. And now just a hair over a minute left in the first quarter. 2nd and long after that sack. It'll be 2nd and 18. Ball on 32. And we've got whistles at the line of scrimmage. Going to be delay of game. Okay, I've usually seen the delay of game with a different signage, but they do call delay of game on the Dragons rather, and that does knock them back another 5 yards. By the way, some out-of-town score update. St. Augustine leads PVI 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. Along with that, at the end of the first, how about this for a high-scoring first quarter? Rancocas Valley leads Pleasantville 23-8 at the end of the first quarter. Run up the middle goes not too far. Clock is going to stop. We've got somebody on Kingsway grabbing at their right ankle. Number 56 on the injury timeout, Dylan Rickards. Dylan Rickards, of course, he was a big part of Kingsway's baseball team this past year. He hit a game-winning walk-off double versus Bishop Eustis in the Ralph Shaw tournament that we covered. And Rickards at the time was a sophomore, and he's clutching at that right ankle. I mean, obviously we've seen a lot of issues with cramping during week 0 and 1 during the hotter weather. And he will walk off under his own power with a slight limp, but luckily he appears to be okay as Kingsway gets back in the huddle here. 18 and a half seconds left in the first quarter. They'll have time for one more play. And the clock will run again, so Camden is on the defensive line, but I don't think they're going to rush any play out to end the first quarter, and indeed they won't. So 5 and 4 seconds left on the scoreboard, and after the first quarter, it'll be Camden that leads Kingsway 7-0. A 10-yard rushing touchdown by Jaden Steele is the only score so far, and we'll be right back after this break as the Dragons look to defend their home turf. They're on offense going into the second. We'll be right back.
And this is going to bring up Andrew Petrick, who has a single in this game. And here's a fly ball popped up right field side. And it's fair. It's fair. They're going to throw to second for try to get this play, the force out. They got him, but the game is tied. How about it for Woodstown? They complete the comeback to make it 8-8. So now there is one out after Kubat let it fall in right, and because the bases were loaded, you know what? That's a very smart play.
Second quarter underway here as Kingsway, now on the other side of the field, gets picked off. This one's going to go back to the 20. This one might be a pick six with the right blockers, and he's got it. A pick six, but we do have a flag on the play. So Ibn Muhammad on the interception, and it'll be perfect. Got a roughing the passer penalty. That does negate the interception on the roughing the passer call. And so what was going to be, I mean, this is the second touchdown by the Panthers so far. First one on a holding penalty and second one on a roughing the passer call. Would have been a great return, but just didn't get it.
WO2 is a roughing the passer on Camden. That's going to grab an automatic first down. So the Dragons.
Yeah, so that's a great turnaround. I think if Camden gets no flags on that play and gets themselves a 14-0 lead, you don't know if Kingsway is going to have the momentum to stay feisty and stay competitive in the game. Now the automatic first down kind of sparks a fire under their belly, and we'll see what they can work with here with an automatic first down from their own 40 after the roughing the passer call. With some hard-hitting penalties here in this first half. Handoff goes nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10 as that one got snuffed out at the line of scrimmage. Don't forget, Saturday, September 7th, we're playing football between the Haddonfield Bulldogs and the Woodbury Thundering Herd. It's our first of 4 games in a partnership with Woodbury City High School. We'll be covering them in week 2 versus Salem on the 14th, and weeks 6 and 7 versus Pennsgrove and Willingboro, respectively, as we've got flags down from the sideline and also a whole mess of everybody at the line of scrimmage. I mean, you got guys falling on top of each other and everything in between. Let's see what's going on here. Going to be holding on the offense, so holding on a rush. Not something you see every day. Bring up third down here. Third and 12 with Orovets in the shotgun. Drops back. Needs to get something off here. Rolls out to the right. He's got room. He looks for a man downfield. Wow. How is that not pass interference? And it seems that the sentiment also rings true amongst the home faithful as a pretty disgruntled crowd reacts to that one. I mean, they obviously must have saw something that we didn't, but where does this land? It's going to land at the 45, roll out at the 39, and Camden will take over. This broadcast is brought to you by I keep getting the name wrong. Dog Wrestling, Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, as the semi-pro organization rocks the Sacred Heart Church, 104 4th Street in Riverton on Saturday, September 28th, including appearances by current reigning champion Breaker Morant and also former WWE tag team specialist Tank Toland, along with a special appearance by former ECW original Jim Molyneux. Bell time is 7:30. Admission is $20. We were going to air their commercial for the first time tonight, but there are some technical issues with the commercial. It's not loading right on the laptop, so we will have to wait until another day to make that appearance. But big thanks to that entire organization for having us out. And how about this? How about a breakaway on the first play from scrimmage? It's going to be a 60-yard run for Camden and number 3, Christian Braxton, who just rushed for more yards in one play than he did all of last week versus St. Christopher's in Richmond. Touchdown, Panthers. And no flags either. Another PAT by the freshman, number 54. Okay, they're going to go for 2 now, and they're going to get it. Wow. Now we've got a late flag coming in. We have tons of dirty laundry after the play. We've got a very late flag coming in after number 0, Malik Red, already passed into the end zone. We're going to have a personal foul on... Now they're talking it over again. I assume it applies on the kickoff. Not sure here. So ref's still talking it over. So do we have a word or I don't know, the referees were talking it over. And Kingsway is going to send out their kickoff return crew. Yes. All right. We did confirm 2-point is good, and whatever personal foul penalty that is does apply. Dead ball personal foul. All right. Big thanks to our NJSIA referee crew up here in the booth helping us out. I've watched football for many years, and I still do not know every rule. So, I mean, that was a new one, seeing the delay of game as like a, like instead of just putting one arm on top of the other. I hadn't seen that one before, but seeing our fair share of delay of game penalties this year. So after a 10-yard penalty is applied, now going to be, actually, I'm sorry, this is more than 10 yards. Look at where they're kicking this off from the opposing 45. And that is way out of bounds. You do not see a lot of touchbacks in South Jersey football, but that is one of them right there. Camden sends this one away. So after the touchback, they'll start at their own 20 rather. What I'm confused about is why, if the dead ball foul was against Camden, then why don't they back them up instead of moving them forward? So Kingsway could have gotten a better field position.
Can't forget marching band.
Corvette's back in the shotgun. He is immediately backpedaling and swallowed up by the Camden defense. That's going to knock him back a whole bunch. Just under 10 minutes left in the half. Don't forget to stay tuned for the DWB Halftime Show, presented by Harper Driving School. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 95% of students that take their lessons with Harper pass their driving test on the first attempt. If you like those odds, book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, right off of Lambs Road. Over the middle, and Kingsway is going to get a couple of yards out of that one, but after the completion to number 11 from the Dragons, Christian White.
Number 1,
So to bring up 4th and 10, I mean, that couple of sacks on that offensive drive just didn't help their case, and now getting backed up, they will bring out the punt crew again, as Kingsway still, very nice punt there by 41, picked up at the 44, and he'll be taken down at midfield after the return by Dehani Cobbs.
13, they're going to 14, the line,
a whole bunch of exciting 7 p.m. games on the slate tonight. Camden Eastside versus Willingboro. Our good friend Colin Conway is going to be there. Cumberland and Shalleck at 7 o'clock. Morristown and Seneca, Sterling and Pittman, Manchester Township and Southern Regional, Palmyra, Bishop Eustace, West Effort, Pennsville. Tom McGurk is over at Delsey and Woodstown. So we will have more out-of-town scores when we have more 7 o'clock games. And once we're at 6:50 right now. So, by the way, Holy Spirit leads Oak Crest 25-0 late in the second quarter. Braxton again on the carry there for the Panthers. Gets them up about 2 yards, and it'll be second and mid-range. And again, another parochial out-of-town scoreboard. PVI trails St. Augustine on their home turf 10-0 with 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Here comes the handoff again. Camden gets another breakaway. They're going to trip themselves up to 35 with the assistance from the Dragons. I mean, Braxton is... I mean, we weren't kidding when we said he was He had more yards on that 60-yard rushing TD than he did at all versus St. Christopher's. Despite having 9 rushes on 23 yards, he's basically flipped the script, doing more and less. I mean, that's what wins ball games, is an efficient offense. You can rush 9 times for 23 yards, but that doesn't do anything for you. This will, broken up.
Number 6, Wasi Muhammad. By number 1.
Intended for Muhammad and broken up by Dominic Hibbs. Bring up second down here after the first, reached by Braxton. I mean, we don't have an extra guy in the booth to keep real-time stats, but Braxton's got to be up near 100 yards, especially, like we said, that one rushing TD, 60 yards, was more than he had at all versus St. Christopher's of Virginia in Week 0, had 9 rushes, 23 yards in Camden's 39-17 win in their inaugural 2024 game. 2nd and 10 after that pass is broken up into secondary. They're going to back him up here. We'll see where they put it on forward progress. But a handful of Dragons in on that one to breathe their fire and get that one taken care of. I mean, if Kingsway can make a stop here, even if Camden has to punt it and get them, get it out of the end zone, started at the 20, Kingsway just needs a spark to get themselves going. You know, you're not a Dragon if you don't breathe fire, but you got to think about the fact that they have to stop any Camden momentum at all costs. Broken up, intended for red, and broken up by number 14, Andrew Wands. So Andrew Wands waves his wand, and the magic is a 4th down and long. They will bring out the special teams crew. Camden went for it on 4th and long earlier in this game and didn't get it. But back to return for the Dragons will be number 9, Luca Lentini, who's made himself known on the rushing and passing game along with the special teams unit tonight. So he's been a little bit of every place here. And that is a high snap. Actually, no, we all got fooled. We all got fooled. I think they faked the punt there. We'll see if this is short. It's going to be close. Muhammad, I don't know if they did like a fullback flat or... Regardless of what it is a 1st down Kingsway turnover there. It's not hard to fool the camera guy when the camera guy is also the play-by-play commentator. But Camden leads 15-0, 5:57 here in quarter number 2. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Garden State Pet Center. Visit 7 days a week to get your pet happy and healthy with the most organic food products available in South Jersey, including toys, cages, accessories, and more. You can visit 7 days a week at 226 South White Horse Pike in Audubon. First and 10 for the Dragons. Oh, wow, that ball went way awry. Now he's going to get just pieced up in the back. And that snap was not what they needed after not getting the field position that they would have gotten from a traditional punt. Just did not get what they wanted there. And now they are deep in their own territory. Back at the 10. I mean, this is, if you want to look at the 1st down marker, that's not the 1st down marker, that's the 1st down marker. We're right now sitting at about 2nd and 29. Camden converted on a 3rd and 20. It's not impossible. Here comes a handoff. I think you got to pass there on 2nd and 29. I think you can't be too hopeful in your rushing game. You're a lot more effective on your short passes. You know, a screen can turn into something bigger.
3rd down to Bryce.
some clouds overhead. It actually started to sprinkle on the way to the game, but I was a little worried about the rain, but it seems like it's held off. It's going to hit us hard Saturday, though. Luckily, we'll be in a press box for one of our 3 games. 3rd and a country mile here for the Dragons. And they're once again going to hand it off, and I feel like you got to go with a home run ball there. I don't know. I feel like worst you can do. You hear about the you always hear sometimes about what Joe Flacco was best at when he was on the Cleveland Browns was the arm punt. If it's 3rd and 30, you can't get it down, throw the ball deep downfield. Worst case scenario, it's picked off. And we got a safe back of the end zone on the punt, and it's a safety. That'll be 17-0. Well, took us 5 games for our first safety of the year. And I missed it. It just went straight through the back of the end zone. So, how about that? Timber Creek leads Notre Dame 14-7 with 3 minutes left. Yeah, so after the safety, it will be a free kick. I think there's at least some people confused because it's we just had a flag come in. A flag just came flying in as the Dragons were on their sideline talking to the coach. That was a very enthusiastic flag. Now they're knocking him back to the 15. That whistle wasn't thrown by the referee, so I'm confused there, and we didn't get any call that I saw from the Whitecap. Very confused there. Now we've got a free kick back from their own 15, so must have been a delay of game or something because they got knocked back 5 yards. So a safety. Now a free kick from their own 15. Last time we had a safety in a DWB broadcast was Palmyra Gloucester Catholic last year. And now a low-hanging kick gets deflected. Whole bunch of guys on top of that one at the 40, at the 35 rather. And Camden is going to have prime field position to start this drive late in the first half. I mean, that safety is obviously a big gut punch. You don't want to give up touchdowns, but safeties are more of like a mental lapse, if you will. Just couldn't get the snap right, especially a safety on a punt, which is the same way that Palmyra got their safety charged back in week 1 of last season. 17-0 in favor of the Panthers. Brunson drops back. He's going to be hit. A huge hit. We've got a scramble for the football. And a huge roar from Kingsway. 77 holds up the ball. But is it going to be a turnover? I mean, they're going to their sidelines. It's picked up by Brady Witzel. The thing is, it was forward progress. All right, so that is an interception by Brady Witzel. That's the second night in a row we've seen a defensive lineman get an interception. So, I mean, Gloucester had a defensive lineman interception to ice the game last night. And now Kingsway gets one of their own to put themselves back in contention after the safety. Handoff to Lentini. Doesn't get really much of anything on that one.
13, Salute here.
Second and 11 now. By the way, Rancocas Valley leads Pleasantville 30-14, 1:35 left in the half. High scoring game there from Pleasantville. And we've got a jump on the defensive line, number 56, clear as day, violated that one. Onjay Willimus. So encroachment makes it 2nd and 6. Low snap. Dumps this one off, incomplete, and hit in the backfield. So Swirly on the as the intended receiver. We'll bring up 3rd and 6 for Kingsway. Third and 6 for the Dragons. They're going to line this one up as they look to get on the board before the end of the first half. They've got about 2.5 minutes to do so. As they quickly dump off a pass, it's caught. It's going to be short. We'll see where they put it, whether it's forward progress or not, but it is complete to number 11, Christian White. He's going to bring up 4th and short, and we got time called as the defense, Camden Panthers, take a timeout. We have 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in quarter number 2. We'll be right back after this here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Camden leads 17-0. Kingsway will punt. Last time they did it was a safety. This one's a little safer. And a high flyer is going to drop and backspin to the 43. It'll go out of bounds. 1:56 will be the clock left in the second half, or second quarter rather. Next week will be our first doubleheader of the season. Of course, week 0 and week 1 have been triple headers here on DWB. We scale it back to 2 games in week 2. Friday, September 13th will be the Vineland Fighting Clan and the Eastern Vikings from Voorhees. And 10:30 a.m. on Saturday the 14th will be the Salem Rams and the Woodbury Thundering Herd from Woodbury High School at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday the 14th. You can find out our entire DWB football schedule by following our Instagram and Twitter at DW Broadcasting. 1st and 10 from Camden's 39 as they look to strike one more time before the end of the half. Brunson drops back. He's got room up the middle. It's an easy first down, tackled at the 45, and that's easily enough for a first down as the clock is stopped with 1:48. So first down for Camden. They're going to go up tempo here with the clock running again. Brunson again dropping back. Line drive pass caught in traffic by number 6 for the Panthers. That being Wasi Muhammad.
Number 6 equals 1.
And again, he looks to dump off a pass. It's picked off. Picked off by Kingsway. Tommy DePietro on the interception by the Dragons. And now Kingsway will have another lease on life. Second interception of the game for the Dragons, and the first to come from a non-defensive lineman. And now we've got 1:05 left in the half. Kingsway will take over from their own 34. .105 left in the half. Lets this one fly. We've got a home run ball coming down and incomplete. Intended for White.
Covered by number 13, Solid Secure.
Some great coverage there by Camden in the secondary. That's been one of the best things they've had tonight. You know, you think about the efficiency of Kingsway passing for 10 for 13 last week versus Eastern, but still keeping it under 100 passing yards. And we have now under a minute left in the half. I mean, they don't need to air it out for home run balls. I think lucky breaks, if they get some blocks, might be all they need, but they've been successful with the screen pass tonight. I think it's important that they get on the board before the end of this half. Line drive pass, batted away. Once again intended for White.
Covered by Folder. Jeremiah Sealing brings up the lead. Thank you.
51 seconds left in quarter number 2. 3rd and 10 after the back-to-back incompletions. Once again, line drive pass caught. But it's going to be at the 41. Clock still running, obviously. Nothing on the scoreboard saying how much time, how many timeouts are left. Well, the clock is stopped with 43.9 left. They have a timeout. Camden calls timeout. 44 seconds left in the half. Kingsway looking to erase the goose egg on the scoreboard. We'll be right back. Back on the air here after the timeout call by the Panthers. 4th and 4 after a short completion. Trying to draw Camden off sides here, and now whistles blowing. And now the Dragons call a timeout. I think they went for a hard count there. Saw a little bit of movement, but wasn't called. We will stay on the air, 17-0. As we said, next week's slate on DWB, of course, this Saturday is the Haddonfield Bulldogs and the Woodbury Thundering Herd from Woodbury High School. 10:30 a.m. sharp will be the start time of that game. And on Sunday, actually also on Saturday, we have a women's soccer matchup between the Fashion Institute of Technology Tigers and the RCSJ Roadrunners. On Sunday at 1:30 is the Suffolk County Sharks and the RCSJ Roadrunners in more women's soccer action. On Friday, September 13th, we go over to Voorhees for a big school matchup between the Vineland Fighting Clan and the Eastern Vikings. Saturday, September 14th, will be another Woodbury matchup between the Salem Rams and the Woodbury Thundering Herd. But it's always fun covering different atmospheres of schools. You know, the first 3 games we did in August were all Group 1 schools, very small schools with very small grandstands. This is a very different atmosphere. 4th and short after both Camden and Kingsway call timeouts. Gets this one off, drops back, and it's incomplete. And this will be a turnover on down, so Camden will get another opportunity before the end of the half. Definitely was looking promising. I just don't understand. Like, they, on 2nd and 10, went for a home run ball. I think that, you know, Kingsway is a very efficient passing machine, but I think you got to take it one step at a time, especially down by 17. If you put all your eggs in one basket, sometimes you end up spilling them all and cracking the yolks. And that's what these guys can't do here. They can't let the idea of every play has to be a Hail Mary get into their heads, or else Camden's got to be like, okay, we're good. We're in their heads, and we can take over and take control of this game. Low snap from the shotgun. Brunson with some quick feet, and a pass caught by Braxton. That'll be out of bounds on the far sideline. Just a hair over 30 seconds left on 2nd and short here. Brunson drops back again. Taking his sweet old time, and it's caught by Muhammad at the 12. Clock's going to stop with 21 seconds here. We do have a flag. We do have a flag on the play. Looks like they're starting to trudge back, so we'll see what the Whitecap has to say about it. Holding on the offense. After the flag down, got 20 seconds left. They'll have time for a couple more plays, but the holding penalty knocks them back. Clock running again, 13 and counting. Got time for one more here. Line drive pass. It is caught and immediately speared in the secondary. And that, we're going to have a timeout with 3.8 on the clock. So timeout called by Camden. So I got 3 seconds left in the half. They'll have time for one more play. Camden calls their 3rd and final timeout. Beautiful night here from Kingsway.
To recognize some families tonight. Brand, Hancock, Logan, Morris, Burlingame, Gambergini, Loser, McConnell, Gertner, Loring.
But a very active crowd tonight here in Kingsway. Very nice to see here for a beautiful Friday night.
The next time we'll announce the quick number to please catch your winning ticket, the red ticket.
3.8 on the clock after the timeout. They'll have time to get one more snap off. Dropping back, Brunson rolls out. He gets hit as he throws, and a home run ball incomplete. And no flags on the play, so we will go to the halftime break in a 17-0 Camden lead as they went for the Hail Mary, and it ended up becoming a Fail Mary as Camden couldn't get that one down. Camden, of course, getting themselves on the board early and now continuing that momentum into the second quarter. We'll be right back after a quick break. We've got a 15-minute halftime break and a whole lot of more action to follow. 17-0, Camden leads. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for the second half from Anthony Barczyk Field. You know, this game has been all Camden, but it's still only a 17-point game. You know, I think crazier things have happened, and things heartbeat. If Camden has a couple of trip-ups, I think Kingsway still has a legitimate shot of coming back and making this game perspective again. But here's the thing about what Kingsway has done tonight. They haven't really done anything wrong. Camden has just done everything right, and that's even with a whole bunch of penalties going against them. They'd be leading by even more if it weren't for a couple of touchdowns getting turned away. But I think the way that we're thinking about Camden is just like we have been thinking about them last year. They're a very good team, and they shouldn't be underestimated. This is their first game in New Jersey after beating St. Christopher's of Virginia last Thursday. So, you know, there's a lot to be said about a team that can be this adaptable to come back from Virginia a week later and, you know, be this dominant against a 500 team like Kingsway went 6-5 with Mark Hendricks last year. But Kingsway's been very efficient with the pass, although some of the play calling has been questionable, like that home run ball on second down with about a minute left in the half. These guys need to take it step by step. You're not going to win ball games by just chucking the ball in the air and hoping it lands somewhere in the arms of somebody in black and red. You want to get these short passes or even just long runs. Go with a couple jet sweeps. Get something going so that your offense can still be proactive, but without all the extra theatrics. I think Kingsway is just too worried about winning the game now instead of winning the game later. Because right now, it's not a one-possession game. It's clear as day. It's right now a three-possession game. But these guys still need to get back up there and figure out what's going on with their offense. And I think this halftime break is going to be a good opportunity for them to do that. They do get the ball back to start the second half, so we'll see what goes on. Players are getting ready to take the field. Both teams are out of their clubhouses. And we've got about a couple of minutes left before they go for the second half kickoff. We'll be right back with another commercial break and more right here on DWB. Camden 17, Kingsway 0. Kingsway ready to receive the second half kickoff here from the Camden Panthers. Camden up 17-0, 2 touchdowns, 1 PAT, 1 2-point conversion, plus a safety have been the scoring drives tonight. Jaden Steele went for a 10-yard rushing TD, and then Anthony Braxton, 60-yard rushing TD in the second quarter to make it 15, and then a quick safety as here goes Kingsway on the return. He gets swallowed up at the 25. And handful of guys everywhere as Kingsway starts the second half on the return. So Steele on the tackle. Some out-of-town scores as we enter the second half of tonight's matchup. Woodstown leads Delsey 7-0 midway through the second quarter. Triton leads 6-0 over, Triton now leads Middle Township 22-13 in the third quarter. Cherokee leads Lenape 14-3 in the third quarter. And we've got movement on the Camden defensive line from number 64, Corey Livingston Randall. Oh, they called false start on the offense. Never mind. That'll knock him back 5 yards. Burke Memorial leads Brick Township 22-0 at halftime of their rivalry game. St. Augustine leads Paul 6, 16-0 at the half as this pass is completed to the right side. And he's going to get a cross on forward progress for a first down. Luca Lentini, the carry on the... I mean, especially backed up there after the false start penalty was definitely a sigh of relief to see them getting back in action here. Ooh. Dropping back, lets this one float in the air. We've got flags all over. That was not caught. That hit the ground first, or at least from what I saw. I don't have the final say, but let's see what the Whitecap has to say about it. This one might be coming back. Got a chance. Holding on the offense. Oh, no, on the defense. Excuse me, I spoke too soon. Defensive holding.
Please report to the concession stand. Anyone using the cell phone, please report to the concession stand. There is a flag on play for each of the defensive holding.
And that will be an automatic first down for the Dragons. That will now be at Kingsway's own 46-yard line. A big advantage there on the defensive holding call. Automatic first down. Again, QB in the shotgun for the Dragons. Takes this one straight away. Line drive pass over the middle gets deflected. And we've got a late flag on the play. And Camden up in arms about that one on number 13, Talib Shakir. And now, I mean, both teams are a little confused here. It's going to be defensive pass interference. The second defensive pass interference call to be made tonight, but... So both of Kingsway's first downs in this half have been on automatic first downs. You had a holding call, and now a defensive pass interference call. And hey, if you can get a couple lucky breaks, you take your breaks when you get them. And especially with Kingsway still off the board tonight, got to get in a groove here in the third quarter. They fake the handoff. Lentini takes it himself. And this is going to be a disaster as that does not go. That's going to be a 4-yard loss. Now it'll be second and long. And especially after Kingsway didn't get the return that they wanted on the kickoff to start the half. They started their drive at their own 25-ish. Now they're finally across the 50, but if that's going to be the way that you have to advance the football, take it. Not much else you can say there. Man in motion to the right, that's Lantini. He drops back, dumps the pass off to Lantini in a spin move. He crosses him up, and he's going to get all the way up to the 34. As Lantini gets that one over. Still going to be short of a first, and it'll be third and mid-range. All right, now back at the 34. No huddle offense. From the 34. Getting ready here. Got one man to his left, but running a trips formation here. Dropping back. Dumps this off after heavy pressure from the Camden defensive line.
Yes, balls incomplete on the 3, J.D. Johnson. Coverage.
Intended for Johnson.
With 13, Talib Shakir.
Fourth down here. We'll see. They still have 41 on the sideline. Zach Burlingame, it looks like they're going to keep him off, and they're going to keep the offense on the field. Dropping back again. On fourth down, the pass is batted away. And no flags intended for number 9, Luca Lentini.
Covered by number 13, Khalid Shakir, and that's
especially considering Kingsway got a couple nice breaks on those flags, especially the defensive holding and the defensive pass interference. Third time was the charm for Camden, and this time it's a turnover on downs at their own 34. But that might have been Kingsway's best chance to at least get themselves back in this ballgame. It's not unsalvageable now, but it's certainly going to be a heck of a lot harder than it was going into the halftime break. Fakes the handoff, pumps the pass over to the right side, a big hit. Going for a somersault. This is that is number 5, Dahani Cobbs.
Second and 5 on the Camden 39.
Pennsville leads West Effort 13-7 with 1:22 left in the half. And second and 5. And he's going to break free again. Takes a big hit below the waist and goes down at the 49. Whistles are finally blown.
Number 3, Christian Braxton. Tackle made by number 23, Mason Bryant. Going up for a Camden first down.
By the way, after trailing 23-8 at the end of the first quarter, Northern Burlington and Pleasantville are getting ever closer. It is 30-20 in favor of Rancocas Valley, with Ford Middle again on a new set of downs. Doesn't get anywhere there.
Christian Braxton tackled by number 24.
Dropping back. No, here comes another handoff. Gets to the third down here. Third down and short. Low snap from Brunson. Handoff. Should be short by about a yard, maybe 2 yards.
That's what we're going to force down for him. Let's make some noise for the Dragons defense.
By the way, we've got an unusual score alert. Shalleck leads Cumberland 2-0 at the half. In South Jersey. Basically. Fourth and mid-range. Brunson in trouble, having to scramble. Lets it fly. We've got flags and we've got a pick. It's number 13 who comes down with it. The turnover belt will get another vendor. And it will be, hold on here, hold on, hold the horses. Picked by number 13, Kyle Nordone, but we'll see what the flag is. And we'll see if that belt will be applied or not. Holding, but the refs don't know which way. Holding on the offense. That belt will go back to the sender. Nordone. Third pick of the night for Kingsway. And Kingsway again finds Brunson, who did not throw a pick during his Week 0 performance versus St. Christopher, and now has allowed 3 on the night. Brunson, the senior for Camden here, with his third interception of the season. Here comes a pass over to White. It's caught, and he's going to dive forward, and there's no first down for Dragons. Again, going with the no-huddle offense after the catch by White. Mekhi Brunson passed for 13 TDs, 7 interceptions in his junior year. His first as a starting quarterback. Went 11 for 22 with 239 passing yards and 4 passing TDs versus St. Christopher last week in Richmond, Virginia. As we said, next week, Friday, September 13th, we go down to Voorhees for a Friday night matchup between the Vineland Fighting Clan and the Eastern Vikings. And then Saturday the 14th is another Woodbury matchup, the Salem Rams and the Woodbury Thundering Herd in our second of 4 games with Woodbury City High School. 2nd and 10, dropping back again. Lines his pass to the right, and it's right over the hands, incomplete. Intended and rather destined for number 9, Lentini. It's going to bring down 3rd and 10 here. That's a gut punch for Kingsway right there, especially considering, the nice catch that White made that could have gotten him a first down earlier. Now, backs are kind of against the wall here, and it's certainly, again, not impossible, but it's not easy for these guys to get out of a deficit and trying to keep this record good for the Dragons. They've got a man in motion. Dropping back here on 3rd and 10. Finds a gap in the defensive line. He's hit. He's still on his feet. And now he finally gets down for a loss of 4. He just pump faked one too many times. And now a timeout is called. And now the quarterback is down. No, not the quarterback. I apologize. Spoke too soon. We do have a Kingsway player down, though. Being attended to by the Kingsway staff, athletic trainer Robert Behrman and team doctor Ed Paroli. Kingsway led by Mark Hendricks, assisted by Josh Mason, Matt Mignano, Kevin Miller, Bobby Barbieri, Robert Kelly, Mike Husney, David White, Ian Bucks, and Ben Mayers.
He should be done.
So that is, looks like Dylan Rickards again having some more issues. He went down with an injury earlier in the game. Kingsway will once again take the field for 4th and 13 after a rather anticlimactic sack on the Kingsway quarterback. Now getting back into it here. You need to get a first down here to keep this game competitive midway through the 3rd. Immediately dropping back, letting a home run ball fly, and it's not going to get in anybody's hands. Intended deep down the far sideline and almost brought in by Azir Lee. And that'll be a turnover on downs. So, that was the best drive yet. That was the best sequence of events yet, because they got really far up, turned the ball over, and then got an interception. Looked like things were going the way, and going the way they wanted to. Now it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back, it seems like tonight. Camden takes over from their own 44. Low snap, handoff, finds some room. This man's a speed demon, a bullet train over to the 45. That'll be a Camden first down.
Number 13, Kyle.
By the way, this is Camden's DWB debut across all of our broadcasts dating back to October of 2021. They are making their first appearance tonight and are the 82nd high school in the state of New Jersey to appear on a DWB live stream. Lower Cape May made their debut last night to be the 81st. And Vineland will make their first appearance next Friday. Handoff over the middle. After a nice rush by Braxton, or rather by Steele to get them the first down. Now Braxton follows that up with a couple of yards there.
14, Andrew Long, for 7 out of 10.
St. Augustine running away with this one. They lead 29-0 with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And the Greyhounds are back in it. It is 30 to 27. Rancocas Valley, again, like we said, they led that game 23-8 at the end of the first quarter and now are within 4 points. Dropping back, Brunson, he's got 2 men on his tail, dumps a pass off directly into the Kingsway sideline. And that's out of play, 3rd and 7.
Number 8, Blake Brunson pass goes out of bounds. Pressure by several drivers, including number 55, Jordan Menendez.
Pennsville leads West Effort 13-7 at a half that only took 46 minutes to complete. And Kenai Simmons got a QB keeper. Shalleck leads Cumberland 9-0. Triton leads Middle Township 22-13 going into the 4th. And Woodstown leads Delsey 7-0 at the end of the first half. Dropping back again on 3rd down. This one is caught. He's got plenty of room. He's going to break away and finally gets tripped up for a first down at the 21.
Tackled by number 13, Kyle Verdun. That's going to bring up a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 23. 22 rather. With 4 minutes and 20 left in the 3rd quarter. Camden still scoreless after getting 1 touchdown in the first and touchdown along with a safety in the 2nd quarter. No scoring yet in the 2nd half. Brunson lets the pass fly. There's no whistles. No. Now there's whistles now. So no, there was a whistle. There was a whistle, and it was ruled incomplete.
Hey, yes, $1 bills. Jackson in my pocket. No. Yeah,
Hand off. Didn't get anything on that one. There's a player on Camden that has bright yellow gloves, and it keeps throwing me off thinking that there's a flag on each play on the offensive line. That right tackle, number 53, Will Crisden. I mean, you can look at those right there on the right tackle. Those are, let's see here. Those are very bright yellow gloves. Almost look exactly like the color of what would be a flag. Actually, a couple of guys on this Camden team. I mean, some of them have white gloves, but it's interesting. Just that choice of accessory. As here comes a pass. Surprised there was no roughing the passer there. Kind of a late hit and a late tackle by number 14. That being Andrew Wands, but now 3:12 left in the 3rd. It's kind of like how in baseball, your glove can't have any shade of white on it if you're a pitcher, as not to distract the batter. And also the batter's eye in center field has to be a certain color, as again, not to distract the batter. Of course, there was a little bit of controversy in the Toms River East football game yesterday as the game was delayed for over 15 minutes due to unapproved equipment on both teams. 4th and mid-range. Brunson finds room in the scramble. He's got plenty of room, gets put in a spin cycle, and goes down at the 10. That'll be enough for a Camden first down right in the goal line, or right in the red zone, excuse me.
For 20,
Camden after another first down, now 1st and goal. He's got room, and it's a Camden touchdown on the rush for 9 yards by number 4, Jaden Steele. And the Panthers are on the board again. That now makes it 23.
Let's pick a stupid count.
And they will once again go for the extra point. Try to make this a 24-zip ball game. Would be our second DWB shutout of the year. Pitt beat Gateway 16-0 in the opening game of the season. That was still a very competitive game. That ball's up away, and a couple of collisions on the Kingsway side. And the Panthers are back on the board. It is 24-0 as they are 3 for 3 on PATs tonight. We'll be right back. Camden is up big time in this one. $24-0 Camden. This one's a high flyer back to the 15. Kingsway on the return. Gets a block and is still on his feet up to the 44, and finally whistles blow with Kingsway having their best return of the night. A great opportunity for Kingsway to get something going here, as now timeout is called on the field. And there's a Kingsway player down. And White is also down now at the 45, being attended to by that Kingsway staff. We're going to take another break. 24-0 Camden.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Back on the air after an injury timeout. Kingsway takes over after a very nice kickoff return at their own 44. Kingsway looking to avoid a shutout here late in the third. Gets tripped up in a late hit. Not necessarily a late hit, just an awkward angle hit, if you will. And gets a couple of yards there. Washington Township leads Pensauken 14-0 at the half. And Timber Creek and Notre Dame tied at 14 going to the fourth. Second and 12 for the Dragons, rather. As that pass is deflected, it'll be tipped and no good. Third down and long now.
56 of Camden. Andre Links. Third down. by Kingsway Jansen.
Third and long here for the Dragons. QB once again in the shotgun. Finds a gap, still on his feet, leads with the head, and now gets out of bounds, and a late flag coming in. Got a couple words on the sideline here, and people are standing back. We have a flag after the play. Well, not too far after the play, but we're going to see what it is here. Might be a personal foul of sorts. Personal foul on the defense. That is big for Kingsway as they look to advance the ball. I mean, sometimes the emotions get the best of you, and that was a great move there by Orovitz to find that gap, slide through the middle of the defense, and then cut towards the sideline. And I'm not saying he drew the foul, but it certainly is a nice thing to have if you're Kingsway. First and 10 after the personal foul penalty. And a very awkward pass ends up being complete to the far sideline. Complete to number 15, Aiden Licciardello. So Dragons get a first down. And Mark Hendricks is going to call his players over. Kingsway calls a timeout. And we've got 1:05 remaining in third quarter. Kingsway in their best position yet to score. They're at the opposing 27. Just need 7 more yards for their first red zone appearance of the night. We'll be right back. 24-0.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide.
24-0. Kingsway trails Camden. As from the shotgun again, caught. Taken down on the far sideline. They're going to say that he's inbounds after the reception by J.D. Johnson. Now under a minute remaining in the quarter. Second and short here. Dropping back. Here comes a big pass deflected. And out of play. Just a little too high on that one. After the incompletion, it's 3rd and 3. Third and short for the Dragons after the incompletion over the middle. Orovitz will take a keeper. This has a chance, but it looks short. And they will signal 4th down here. With 9 seconds and counting left, they're not going to get a playoff here. And at the end of the third quarter, it is Camden all 24. Kingsway 0. Been a nice game tonight for the Panthers as they look to go 2-0 to start the young campaign. Kingsway heads back to the sidelines, and so will we. We'll take a quick break. 24-0 Camden with 12 to play here at Anthony Barchuk Field.
launches one foul. See, Mostero's doing us a service here. Or excuse me, D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro is doing us a service here. He's letting us have this conversation by having a long at-bat. But a lot of people are still caught up in the D1 or bust mentality. Listen to this crowd. Listen to this crowd. We'll talk about that later. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Clapping it up here for the Roadrunners. 2-2. Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! 3-run homer! D'Alessandro! And it's a 1-run game at the crack of the bat. 5-4. 3-run shot to center field. Trailing towards the right center, and the cleanup man does exactly what the position orders. Cleaning up. And he does it incredibly well with a 5-4 game. He battles for 11 pitches and makes
Fourth quarter, first play is going to be stopped, and Camden will take over, as that was kind of an anticlimactic whimper of a play there. I mean, and I should preface that by saying none of what has happened to Kingsway tonight is really their fault. Camden's just kind of overpowered them, and I guess for a team that went 10-3 last year and took Delsey down to the buzzer, I guess that's to be expected. But I mean, they haven't killed Kingsway. It's not like Buna and Gloucester last year where it was 54-14. This is different. It's a 24-0 ball game. It's not an absolute shin kicking of what these two teams are capable of. Over the middle. And Camden gets a couple of yards there. Camden would improve to 2-0 in the young campaign. And some more out-of-town scoreboard. Shalleck now leads Cumberland 16-0. Manville Mustangs lead Hopatcong 19-0 at the half. Timber Creek trails Notre Dame 17-14 midway through the fourth. And the handoff there gets stopped by the Dragons defense. Steele on the carry.
Now line number 8, please.
Third and long here. 10:35 left in regulations. Camden is doing pretty good in this one so far. Line drive pass is caught by Red. It's going to be short, and that'll bring him to fourth and mid-range.
Fourth down.
Fourth and 5. 26. Kingsway looking for a late stop here. They will punt this one away, and a awkward spiral on the punt drops dead at the 40, and will roll over to the Kingsway 42. That's where they'll set up shop. This broadcast is brought to you by Dog Wrestling, dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators who will rock Sacred Heart Church on Saturday, September 28th, with a bell time of 7:30 p.m. and admission of $20. Tune in and be there for some of the best semi-pro wrestling South Jersey has to offer, including an appearance by current reigning dog wrestling champion Breaker Morant, former WWE Tag Team Specialist Tank Toland, and a special appearance by former ECW original Jim Molyneux. That is, again, a bell time of 7:30, admission $20. Dog Wrestling, a big sponsor here on DWB. And if you are a small business owner interested in advertising on DWB, we are always looking for more small business owners to get in the advertising game and also help somebody out who is interested in making this thankless job a career someday. Here's a line drive pass over to the right side. Another crossover move by Lentini, and he will fall forward to the 49 for a gain of about 6.
Made by number 13, Khalid Shakur.
Second and 6 here for the Dragons. And still looking to get on the board here on this Friday night action. And we got dirty laundry on the field. We've got laundry at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be on Camden, so that will be a 5-yard penalty. Maybe an offsides call. How about Camden's band? They have been in action all night. We've zoomed into them a couple times, but they have been rocking the house. And, I mean, Kingsway's band has kind of been a little bit inactive. Nothing against them, of course, but it takes stamina to do a performance for as long as Camden's band has been doing it. I mean, they basically have not stopped playing the entire night. You really get a nice atmosphere out of it from the visiting team. Speaking of visiting, here comes a visiting interception. And it'll be another one for Orovitz.
13, Khalid Shakur.
And Khalid Shakur.
Number 3, J.D. Johnson.
Intended for Johnson, but that will be a turnover. As Camden continues to keep Kingsway out of the scorer's table.
Some of the
8:32 left in regulation. Handoff up the middle. Gets stopped barely ahead of the line of scrimmage. And that'll be second down. Like we said, tune in tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. for a South Jersey Group 1 matchup between the Haddonfield Bulldogs and the Woodbury Thundering Herd. It's our first of 4 games in a partnership with Woodbury City High School. Our others being next Saturday versus the Salem Rams, and then weeks 6 and 7 respectively versus the Willingboro Chimeras and the Penns Grove Red Devils as well in week 7 on October 19th. Here comes a handoff to the right side. He's going to break through. He gets past a spin move. And he's up to the 31 as a huge gain of 23 yards. Braxton on the carry. First down. Handoff to Braxton is going to get immediately swallowed up by number 4. And it's going to be taken in, Tommy DiPietro on the tackle.
Tommy DiPietro for a loss. It brings up 2nd and 14.
And in football, that's not 24-0, but nothing. The Packers and Eagles are about to kick off here from Sao Paulo, Brazil. I mean, honestly, with the weather tonight, I'd rather be here than in Brazil. It's still like summertime there. So.
There's no way to open it.
Dropping back. Lets it fly on a floater. Oh, it just came out of his hands, and it'll be 3rd and long. I think that was just a classic case of trying to do too much with it. I think that there's not a whole lot that you can mention there. You know, he was backpedaling. So, just tried to do too much with the hands and didn't get anything going there. It'll be 3rd and 14 from the Camden 38. A hair under 7 minutes left in regulation. Dropping back once again. He's got plenty of time. Now finally gets a pass rush, dumps it off, and it's complete. Completed on the far sideline to number 5, Dahani Cobbs. And it'll be 1st and 10, now with the Panthers knocking on the door of the red zone, and still a couple doors before the end zone. But a slow snap, runs it on the scramble, gets some room, and gets knocked out near the pylon. And now Camden is officially in the red zone. Let's see where they spot this one. It'll be 2nd and short, 2nd and very short, about a yard to go. And timeout called. Not sure who called that one, but looks like Camden will be the one who calls that one on the field with 6:37 left in regulation. Camden is in a hold of this one, 24-zip. We'll be right back. So just clarification, Kingsway called that timeout, and it's 2nd and short for the Panthers. I mean, this is the kind of thing here where you can ice the game with a touchdown, obviously. You can ice the game with any score. This is going to be a stop, looks like short of a first.
Carried by Braxton.
Carried by Keshawn Braxton.
Back number 14 Andrew Long. I thought we got 4th down for him.
Another timeout call. Camden, it looks like. Looks like Camden calls a timeout. We'll stay on the air here. So it's going to be 3rd and short here. Yeah. I mean, I was saying earlier, huge props to the Camden band. They have been playing pretty much throughout the entire game tonight.
That long.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got the motivation to play that long when you're up 24-0. I mean, it is excellent what they've been able to do tonight. Them and Willingboro have some of the best bands in South Jersey. I mean, obviously you watch like Texas high school football. They've got maybe like 100, 200 people there. But now we've got time called again. Let's see here. Got something going on here on 4th and short. Okay, now it's 3rd and short. They just adjusted the markers. And now Brunson will try it again. Hand off to number 27. What's the new name on the field we haven't seen before? That is number 27, Jason Nelson, a freshman. Jason Nelson. By the way, actually, hold on, they're right on the goal line here. We'll hold that thought, and again, another carry by Camden falls short. Final score from Triton. Mustangs win 22-13 over Middle Township. And St. Augustine, so St. Augustine wins 29-0 over Paul Sixth. That's also going to be short at the goal line.
Jason Nelson, 3rd goal.
Timber Creek leads Notre Dame 20-17, 5 minutes left in regulation, and Holy Spirit took care of Oakcrest 39-0. 3rd and goal from the goal line. Couldn't tell where the ball was, and it's like that will also be short for 4th and goal. Handoff for Camden. They want to say it's a touchdown. And are they gonna say no on this one? I think they're gonna say it's short by a hair. Clock will stop with 4:23. I think they're trying to get everything sorted out. And yeah, so the that's one we haven't seen in a while. A flag on Camden for assisting the runner. That's a high school rule there. I don't even think that's a college rule. I think that's just high school. But they will replay 4th down from their opposite 10. And that is an easy floating touchdown for the Panthers as they extend their lead. Braxton gets in the end zone, and an 8-yard touchdown puts this game mostly out of reach. And it is 30-0 Panthers.
I would say did they score? No, that's why I guess he was this one.
Camden perfect on their PAT attempts tonight. They've gone for 2 once, and now they're going to fake it. What are you doing? It's picked off. You're up 30-0. Why are you faking a PAT? I guess so, but I feel like that's kind of a kick towards Kingsway. I mean, it's kind of I don't know. That's kind of one of those unwritten rules. Like, you're up by 30, game's basically put out of hand, and you're attempting a 2-point conversion with some trickery. I would get it if you're trying to take the lead, but that definitely feels like a low thing to stoop to here. And right now, these guys are trying to piece everything together on the referee's side. And Camden will kick this one away.
I know how that fell.
Camden will send this one away now, 30-0. Oh, this one's going to go back behind Lantini. Tries to cross over again, just tried to make too many moves.
Lantini on return. Tries to go place and stand on the right Lantini.
No. 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And off of the middle, does not get any traction.
Then you guys have to go down?
Nope, that's it.
I think it's 22, so Potts came back over.
3:26 left in the fourth. Dropping back, and a line drive pass for J.D. Johnson is caught.
Player complete number 3, J.D. Johnson. Plays up 30 now.
And some more out-of-town scoreboard updates. Pennsville leads West Deptford 20-13 at the end of the third quarter. 1:27 left in the game for Rancocas Valley and Pleasantville. Rancocas leads 37-20.
Yeah, hold it too.
Third and midway. That snap gets botched. He's still on his feet, Orvitz, but he is down, and that'll be a loss. Especially with Kingsway trying to salvage a touchdown here at the end of the night. It is garbage time at this point. I mean, the stands have mostly emptied out. And not to say that Kingsway has had a bad game by any means. And in fact, they've gotten a lot of lucky breaks. Camden has kind of put themselves in an unfortunate position with, personal fouls that we've seen a couple of them tonight, a couple of pass interference calls. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's, you can get away with that if you are up by 30. But if this was a closer game, I think we'd be talking a lot more about those Camden penalties. But at the end, it didn't really matter because Camden was just that good. Line drive pass. Nice catch there by Lentini.
Pass complete to the one man with the Lantini. Open up for Dragons. Style.
And a final from Cherokee Lenape. Cherokee wins 27-10. Another line drive pass caught, wrestled to the ground. They're going to keep that clock running. It's a Campbell on the completion. Second and mid-range here from their own 42. Staying in the pocket, sliding to make the catch. Whistle's blown in a late push. That will bring up a Kingsway first down. Still have some time to get on the board here, but 52 seconds left. And now with the clock running, 40 seconds left. Orvitz back in the shotgun again and in the pocket. Pass is brought in. He hugs the sideline and is taken down. Pass caught by Hibbs, tackled by Steele. So 1st and 10 with 33 seconds left from the 42. And a keeper by Orvitz. He's got some room on the far sideline. And he gets tackled for about 8 or 9 yards. I guess, kind of throwing out the kitchen sink here. And we are going to have time called. Kingsway will talk this one over. So Dragons call a timeout. We've got 19 seconds left. We'll take a quick break. Camden looking to defend a shutout. Kingsway looking to salvage a score. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 19 seconds left in regulation. Big thanks to Will Hickson, Camden Panthers Athletic Director, for sharing our link tonight. We had a couple hundred viewers tuning in at different points throughout the ball game, and also June Chaffee, Kingsway Athletic Director, for having us out here tonight in this wonderful facility here in Woolwich. Another QB keeper over to the left side and out of play. Clock will stop at 10.7. So 10 seconds left. New set of downs for Kingsway. From the 28. Got one play left, or at least enough time for one more play. It's dropped. And a late hit. Camden's number 15 up with that one. Tackle made by number 15, Zahir Andrews. He broke that one up. So we will have a final play after all. 4.6 seconds left as Camden would improve to 2-0 in the young campaign. And Kingsway would fall to 1-1. I mean, obviously a big passing game for Camden tonight from Mekhi Brunson. And a big night for them overall. As we go into the final play, Camden goes on the road to Medford to play Shawnee, 6 o'clock on Friday, September 13th. Kingsway, after falling to 1-1, who had a 4-1 start last year in 2023, they go on to play Timber Creek at home on the 13th. Final play as time expires. Hit as he throws, and it will be incomplete, and that is the ball game. Camden takes this one with authority. And the final score tonight, Camden 30, Kingsway 0. A respectable game on all fronts, but I think it can be said without doubt that Camden was overpowering tonight. Kingsway didn't play a bad game, but Camden played such a good game and such an efficient game that nobody really stood a chance. And Kingsway, I think, is still going to have a great chance versus Timber Creek, Wellesley, Camden Eastside, but the fact of the matter is they are put in a tough division, and they have a lot of tough games up ahead of them. I don't think that they have an easier game until Hamilton on the 4th or Clearview on the 11th. I mean, they closed out the season with Williamstown, who went 0-9 last year, but that's also because their division was too high. And that's why we like the WJFL, reorganizing the divisions every 2 years. It offers a bit of diversity in who you play. Obviously Camden and Kingsway aren't a likely matchup, but it's interesting to see how these guys adapt. And Camden certainly coming back from that game in Virginia and Richmond last week, certainly an admirable effort tonight to get back in this one. They had a bit of a slow start, one touchdown in the first, but I felt like the turning point of the game was that safety midway through the second quarter. Camden was just coming off of an 8-point play. getting themselves in the end zone, and then Kingsway follows that up with a punt safety. Just wasn't a great look, and then they followed that up, and just didn't seem like they could get the momentum going. But on the other hand, Kingsway has shown some really positive signs tonight, even if the score doesn't really show it. And I think that, they're going to be in for a good season, but Kingsway is Kingsway and Camden is Camden. There's a reason why these two aren't in the same division. Tune in tomorrow morning. We just got word the kickoff has been moved to 11 a.m. between the Haddonfield Bulldogs and the Woodbury Thundering Herd. It's our first of 4 games with Woodbury City High School. And then we followed it up at 2:30 p.m. with RCSJ Women's Soccer versus the Fashion Institute of Technology of New York. They come down to play. It's an all-women's school up in upstate New York. They play the RCSJ Roadrunners in JUCO Women's Soccer at 2:30. And then, of course, on Sunday, we've got the Suffolk County Sharks and, again, the RCSJ Roadrunners for women's soccer. 1:30 p.m. start time on Sunday for RCSJ down in Sewell. From our entire crew here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our social media coordinators, Brandon the Kegerland and Keely Curran, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Nelson Reeves, my wonderful producer, my own mother, Donna Wilkins, for coming out on such short notice. She was the first one that started this all, and back in 2022, she was the only producer we had, and now we have a great crew that just wasn't available on Friday nights, but she did an excellent job. Until we meet again, I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you bright and early, 11 a.m. Saturday morning from the crater that is Woodbury High School. We'll be right back and we will not be right back. We will be back tomorrow morning. Go Birds, and have a good night.